I call this meeting the Harlan Township Board of Trustees to order. As a reminder, the meeting is being recorded, and please do not forget to sign in. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jenny, would you please read the minutes from the previous meeting?
Board of Trustees of Harlan Township met in regular session the 7th day of February 2024 at regular meeting place of 8276 State Route 132. Trustees Edward Kaczynski, Kevin Kern, and Marcus Shelton present. Meeting called to order by Mr. Shelton at 7 p.m. Mr. Shelton asked all present to stand and say Pledge of Allegiance. Minutes read from regular session January 17, 2024. Mr. Shelton made a motion to accept minutes with corrections, second by Mr. Kaczynski. Sheriff Larry Sims discussed annual report. Sheriff Sims will be retiring after this term. Mr. Mason's report was reviewed. The new dump truck has been delivered back from the dealer. Road Department has completed full maintenance on the 6430 boom mower. I don't have a clue what I was typing. Something with repair to transmission sensor, along with. That's what it was. Along with the repair to transmission sensor. Repaired potholes and turnaround at the end of Creekside Drive. Fixed and expanded to allow access for snow removal. Mr. Mason reported will be 4 barrels at Edwardsville Cemetery next few days. Chief Benefit report reviewed. Austin Taylor obtained his firefighter 1 and 2 certification and will be taking National Registry for EMT Basic. Mr. Taylor paid for training out of pocket. Chief Benefit requesting reimbursement for training expenses in the amount of $8,834. Mr. Shelton made a motion to reimburse $8,834 to Austin Taylor, second by Mr. Kern. Fire Department membership voted to place, is it Mellon? How do you say that, Dusty's not even in there yet. What is it?
Mellon. Yes.
Mellon Duff as 1-year probationary member. Mr. Shelton made a motion to place Mellon Duff as 1-year probationary member for Fire Department, second by Mr. Kern. Fire Department membership voted to place Chris Glancy as 1-year probationary member. Mr. Brzezinski made a motion to place Chris Glancy as 1-year probationary member, Fire Department, second by Mr. Shelton. Mr. Shelton reported received township mileage from ODOT. Trustees signed form. Resolution 020724-1. Mr. Shelton made a motion to adopt resolution to purchase 750 tons of salt from Warren County Engineers Office for 2024-25 winter season, seconded by Mr. Brzezinski. Roll call, Mr. Brzezinski, yes. Mr. Kern, yes. Mr. Shelton, yes. Old business, Mr. Brzezinski spoke with Ralph Blanton regarding being representative from Warren County 911 Program Review Committee. Mr. Shelton reported letter for Smith Bronze Plat completed. New business, Mr. Brzezinski attended the first day of the OTA conference, plans to attend additional seminars on Thursday and Friday. Mr. Kern discussed Road Department sick time carryover hours, would like to change carryover from 164 to 320 hours with no payout if employee leaves township. After discussion, Mr. Shelton made a motion to increase carryover hours, second by Mr. Kern. Mr. Shelton reported the BAA will be having a CPR training on February 17, 2024. Community comments, Tanya Studer invited the trustees to attend the 9 Lincoln Auxiliary meeting on March 18, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Bridget Ballard asked the status of cleaning fees from gym rentals at Butlerville. Mrs. Williams will get with Mrs. Ballard about reimbursement. Bright Acres will have Christmas in July on July 27th. Fall Festival August 10th, and Christmas Breakfast with Santa on December 7th. Need to have discussion on regarding profits from event. Williams gave written financial reports to trustees. Mr. Shelton made a motion to pay bills, second by Mr. Brzezinski. We had no correspondence. Mr. Kern made a motion to adjourn, second by Mr. Brzezinski. Meeting adjourned at 7:42.
Do either of you have any corrections or additions?
I do not. No, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as read? Second. We have Major Harrison with us this evening. If you'd like to do your presentation, we'll let you go first.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I don't know the new layout here, so do you want me in any certain spot?
Wherever you want to be, you can walk around.
Am I going up? I'm good right I brought some extra copies of our annual report, so obviously it's that time of year again, making my visits. I'll leave those over here on the table. I don't know if I brought this many, because I wasn't expecting a full house here tonight, but anyway, thank you for the opportunity to be here for a few minutes and to say thank you once again to this township and to this board of trustees and to the residents here for their continued support. As your drug task force, you need to know what we're doing, and a lot of people don't have any idea. So I touch on a few things here. I got to keep my glasses close by, or I can't read these numbers, so bear with me there. I don't know what's happening with that, but the annual report, I hope you will take a few minutes and look at it. For some of you, it's information that you read every year as far as who we are, our basic foundation, our basic structure. We remain a multi-jurisdictional task force. None of that has changed. We've been in existence for over 2 decades. Now we continue to target mid to upper level drug traffickers that operate within Warren County and the city of Wilmington. So we also we work cases over in Clinton County, just in the city of Wilmington. So quite a nexus between Wilmington and our county, as most people realize. So the task force concept really does work. I mean, you really feel like you're kind of putting fingers in the dam when it comes to drug cases, because it's like they just never stop coming, unfortunately. And that's the reality of addiction and trafficking. Drug traffickers will be around as long as we have addiction, and nobody's figured out how to fix that just yet. Greed and addiction are what drive drug traffickers. So we just are so busy I can't even begin to explain it. But the task force concept, it's a force multiplier. I'll touch here quick on our basic structure and personnel. We've got this year, 2023, we had 17 full-time people, which was a little bit low for us. We typically run full-time between 17 and 21 personnel. They come from 12 different law enforcement agencies in Warren County. That's federal, state, and local law enforcement. So, the sheriff is the largest law enforcement agency in Warren County, and the sheriff couldn't put that many people with one mission of targeting drug trafficking investigations. We just can't do it. So pulling us all together is the best way to attack this problem. We're what's called a HIDA task force. HIDA stands for High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area. HIDA is a federal program that provides some funding to our task force, helps us operate with some dollars. It also forces federal law enforcement, state law enforcement, and local law enforcement together with the same mission to target drug traffickers that are operating in our jurisdiction. So we were down 2 detectives last year from Monroe PD and Franklin PD. We got our Monroe person back already this year. We were a little low on troopers last year. Just home agency staffing directly impacts who we get throughout the year. So agencies have to be able to cover their uniformed personnel on the street to be able to respond to calls. And it's getting a little tough to keep full-time law enforcement people in place nowadays. So as they fall short on that end of their agency, they tend to pull from specialized assignments. So our staffing can fluctuate, but hoping to beef that back up a little bit this coming year. As the task force commander, I report to what's called a policy board. So that's our governing board. We have monthly meetings where I have to brief our board on ongoing investigations and what we're out doing. That consists of the sheriff, the prosecutor of this county, prosecutor of Clinton County, and then police chiefs from our 12 agencies that provide personnel, as well as law enforcement agencies who also make a financial contribution to our task force. Those police chiefs also sit on our board. So everybody has a vote at the table, so to speak. Everybody has input as far as what we're doing and the direction that the task force is moving each month. In 2023, we had 331 cases. Most task force cases are long-term investigations, so it's very rare for us to conduct a one-day investigation that wraps up that quickly. So our investigations will run months. Some go beyond the 12-month mark. Not uncommon for us to roll cases into the following year. We had 114 felony arrests. Most of these involve undercover operations, so undercover detectives that are meeting with and getting to know drug traffickers, buying drugs from them throughout the investigation, and ultimately indicting them through either federal court or common police court in Warren County or common police court in Clinton County. The Highway Patrol has been on our unit for quite some time, so we have some uniformed troopers. They conducted 1,673 traffic stops last year doing interdiction operations. So everybody realizes we have I-75 and 71 that run through our county. So that's quite easy access for drug traffickers north and south of us to be able to come through here and exit wherever they want and meet with our addicted population. So our troopers do a really good job of being out there, stopping cars and trying to interdict loads of drugs. We seized 58 firearms, executed 125 search warrants. Drug trends for last year, this has been repeating itself for the last probably 5 years. Methamphetamine and fentanyl remain our two greatest drug threats in Warren County. Unfortunately, we're no different than any other jurisdiction as far as availability goes of pretty much any kind of illegal drug that you wanted to get your hands on. The geographical location of Warren County is a big part of why that is, in addition to the internet and the dark web and things like that. But Dayton and Cincinnati are our greatest source cities here in Warren County. So easy access for drug traffickers to come north and south and meet with our addicted population all day. And in the last 5-6 years, our mission has changed a lot because we've had to transition from the local drug traffickers to more out-of-county drug traffickers that are coming into our county all day long, and they travel through 5, 6, 7 jurisdictions really rapidly, and they meet with our addicted population in public areas, and they sell drugs all day long and just keep moving. And then they'll go back to Cincinnati, they'll go up to Dayton, they'll resupply, they might change cars, they might even change people that are coming in, and then they come back through our county. So it's become very challenging for us to work our cases. In 2023, our unit, we seized over 35 pounds of methamphetamine. That's about 16 kilos, 6 pounds of fentanyl, over 49,000 unit doses of prescription drugs, and about 18.5 pounds of cocaine, just to highlight a few of those. We're required as a task force to report our seizure numbers to the Department of Public Safety in Columbus, and they keep track of task force seizures across the state of Ohio. So 88 counties in Ohio, and there is 44, I believe, drug task forces similar to ours. Our methamphetamine seizures out of our unit were the 7th highest in the state of Ohio for 2023, 10th highest for fentanyl, 3rd highest for prescription drugs, and 9th highest for cocaine. Again, a lot of that goes back to geographical location, and just there really is high seizure numbers in Southwest Ohio because of Dayton and Cincinnati and the availability of drugs in this part of the state. Fatal overdoses. Good news on the overdose death front. At least these numbers continue to drop. There's no doubt we still are experiencing overdoses where people are surviving, but that we attribute that to the availability of Narcan. A lot of law enforcement is carrying Narcan now and getting there quickly to be able to save people's lives. In 2023, there were 35 drug-related overdose deaths in comparison to 45 deaths in 2022 and 75 overdose deaths in 2021. So that's heading in the right direction, which is a really good thing. We'd love to see that number hit 0, but that just gives you an idea of the trend. I'll wrap up with funding, which again, this is I'm like a broken record every year. Thank you for what you guys do for us, for what this township does for us, and the support that this Board of Trustees has given us, because we simply cannot operate without funding. We operate off of grants. We operate off of financial contributions from every jurisdiction in this county. Gives us something to go towards our overall operating costs. County commissioners make a financial contribution. All those law enforcement agencies are contributing bodies to our unit so that we have boots on the ground to be able to do things, but it costs money to operate, and we would not be here in our current capacity without the support we receive from around this county. So grants are a terrible way to fund your unit from year to year, and a lot of people think that we just have this line item budget that comes out of the county every year, and it's just not that way, which I know most of you know here. But it's a moving target budget every year. So these dollars mean more than you realize. And I always attach, for the trustees' view there on what everybody else is doing around the county, just so that you have that information in front of you. But thank you very much for that. So the sheriff made it clear that he already beat me here this year. But you already, he's laughing me. He said, "This is my farewell tour," he's calling it. And, I've got a few more years left, and I plan to be back next year if you'll have me. So we're not running out of things to do.
No.
Take any questions if you have any.
We appreciate everything you do for us. I left my glasses at home, but does that say most of the drugs seized in our area are coming out of Mexico?
Yeah, there's a pretty clear path from the southwest border to Dayton, Cincinnati specifically, and then that correlates to us because those are, like I said, those are our local source cities. But yeah, a really heavy presence of southwest border drugs here. That's not getting any better.
That's a tough job.
We have plenty of job security, unfortunately, when it comes to like I said, somebody can fix greed and addiction, drug trafficking will go away, but I don't think anybody's close to doing that right now because our drug traffickers simply don't care. The level of drug traffickers that we're targeting, and we've had high percentages of cases that ended up being prosecuted in federal court over this last year that are just, it seems to be worsening every year, the level of targets, as we call them, that are Dayton and Cincinnati. People don't realize that here, what a great county we have, but we're fed every day by Dayton and Cincinnati drug traffickers. That our addicted population is traveling more than they used to and literally needing close to the interstates, exits, public locations, and fast deals that just go all day long. So it's changing a lot for us, just more challenging. So any questions for anybody?
Yeah, actually, I have a question. Harlan being one of the more rural townships in the county, do you see a notable increase in drug trafficking or incidents in this township as compared to the rest of the county overall?
Right. What I try to emphasize to everywhere I go is kind of the regional effect of drug trafficking, because kind of piggybacks with what I was just saying. Like we have addicted population all over our county, in Harlan Township and all of them. We tend to have more cases closer to the interstate, which is basically for the reasons I was just talking about. Cases in specific areas. If you go back in time 8, 9, 10 years ago, maybe a little more, it really started to change where we used to have those complaints of, hey, that house at the corner of such and such streets, those were our problems that we used to deal with. We still have those, but far fewer numbers because a lot of those people now are traveling to meet, as our traffickers used to be more homegrown, so to speak, and now they're from outside of our area more than they are here. So, your addicted population here in Harlan Township is being fed just like they are in every other township. But we will have higher case numbers in Franklin because they're right on the interstate and have 2 exits there, those kind of things. But the people that we arrest may be from all over the place. It's just such a fluid operation that's running now with these traffickers. But it requires your addicted population to get in their car now, because a lot of times they won't come this far off the interstate. But your addicted population travels to get a little closer, go up towards the country kitchen or something, get close to 71 where you can more easily meet a drug trafficker from Cincinnati. They do their deal and then they head back down this way. So our investigations very much impact the region more so than they do a specific village or a specific township. But you really have to look at it differently because it is much different than it used to be. I always tell people, Franklin is a great example. A drug trafficker from Dayton comes down every day, exits at State Route 73, goes to the Walmart, and there could be 10 cars waiting for him there. They do door-to-door deals, and by the time somebody recognizes what's going on and you call Franklin Police Department, they dispatch a cruiser. By the time he gets there, that drug trafficker's already over in Springboro meeting with somebody else, meeting with 6, 7, 8 more cars there. He moves on across, heads over into Clear Creek Township. Maybe he goes south and ends up in Lebanon. Maybe he goes north, heads back up towards Dayton. That's how they attack us every day. So it's for a local law enforcement agency to just respond and deal with those kind of complaints. They're not very successful because by the time Franklin PD goes to Walmart, unable to locate any car or suspicious activity, everybody's gone. So it's taken us a lot more now to target those kind of cases, you know. And as they go back to Dayton and they get more drugs to come back, like I said, they'll change cars. They'll keep the same phone number for a little bit. They may change drug traffickers. A different guy driving a different car, but answering the same phones. And down they come, and they continue to work our county like that every day. If that makes sense. So it's a tough chase to be involved in, but we're getting some of them. We're making a difference, and I feel like every bit of drugs we take, we're saving some lives. That's the way we look at it. So. Sorry, that was pretty long-winded. I didn't mean to take up a bunch of time. Looks like there's a lot going on tonight. So. Everybody good?
Yes.
Anything else? Thanks, everyone. I'll leave these here, but they're also available on our webpage, which is on the front of these as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to scoot out.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate you coming out.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Zach from BFIS, we're gonna let you go next so you can.
I'll keep it short and sweet for you guys. I promise.
Promises.
Let you guys ask questions. Well, it's good seeing you guys again. I met with Steve and Chief before to go over some things, so that helped me kind of speed through my stuff. I got you guys' renewal here. I'm just gonna hit the high points like I usually do for you since I kind of had the meeting before the meeting. And I went over with the chief regarding the station. He had some concerns on the valuation there because of what happened in Goshen Township last year. So we did go over that. You feel it's comfortable. Your property limits do go up 4% each year, so that kind of helps keep stuff in line. So you're up to 4.2 right now, and total building and contents. This building's insured differently on page 7. It's down there in the middle at 2.8 because you're not going to rebuild it as a school, like we're talking maybe a community/office building. If something would happen here. Your deductible is still the $500. Remember, we replace all of your employees' personal belongings while they're here, and any guests too if they should have lose anything. Coverages are exactly the same, so no big changes there. Any questions on your property limits? I know you guys had the big roof claim last year here, so any concerns on any of those claims that you guys had? I think everything went okay.
Valuation on this building is actually getting ready to go down too. Do we need to notify you when that happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just shoot me an email or a call, and we'll send it through as an endorsement.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you guys are good there, I'll go on next. We have your crime on page 9. That's just your monetary. Fiscal officers corresponded separately. I don't know if you guys are aware, but with the insurance law change a couple years ago, we can cover you under the insurance for your bond. But we've always kind of recommended keeping it separate because the coverage is a little bit better under the bonds, just so you're aware. And then inland marine coverage. So this is your the first big line item on your equipment. So just remember miscellaneous tools, anything under 10,000, we have 86,000 in coverage for that. $1,000 deductible. We do have scheduled equipment. I did go over this with Steve, so I think we're okay there on the RQ. That's up to $1,000 deductible there as well. And then your fire and EMS department, we offer the blanket coverage. So we do not ask for an inventory. It's just automatically covered as it comes and goes. And then we always replace that equipment to the newest standard at the time of the loss. So we look at NFPA, even though we're not an NFPA state, but you guys still use it. So it could be old for new or new for new. We don't use replacement costs for your high value equipment. And then we do cover your members' personal belongings or your employees while they're away from your property as well. So without doing training, looking at the roads or anything like that, we take care of them away from the locations as well. And then page 12 is your autos. So I went over this with Steve and Chief up before the meeting. So we're going to provide some optional quotes on your fire apparatus just because of the cost of these vehicles now. They're getting kind of crazy and out of hand. So I will be sending over a quote for that here, hopefully in the next week. Limits haven't changed, so $1 million for bodily injury and liability, $1 million for uninsured, underinsured. Deductibles are still the $500 or $1,000. On your fire apparatus, just so you guys know, as the trustees, we use a 75% threshold of damage done to the vehicle. Anything below that, our first obligation is to repair, but we give you guys the decision on how you want to handle that claim. If you want to take a $200,000 check, walk away and keep your salvage, you can do that. You're not required to repair the vehicle. Anything over the 75%, then you get the listed amount on the policy, but we take the salvage because we're going to better you to 100%. So we're looking at probably about 7 optional quotes for the chief and Steve for the vehicles. Any questions on the coverage or your autos? I know I'm kind of flying through this, but you guys got a packed house tonight. The liability, so limits haven't changed. There's no deductibles on any of our liabilities, page 14, 15. It's $1 million per occurrence, $3 million for the year. And then we do your attorney costs are always separate of those limits so that they do not eat into those. Any questions on liability? So pretty much anything you guys do as a township, we're covering you. Public officials, you guys are covered as well. Good old fashioned management of the township, hiring, firing, sexual harassment, all that kind of stuff is covered. And then we do offer your umbrella or an excess that takes your limits from 1 million, 3 million to 3 million, 5 million. So you guys are very well protected. And then you guys are up slightly this year, about $3,300. A little bit of rate, a little bit of exposure change, and then just a little bit of the claims history, but not much. And then your 4% inflation guard on your properties. It's kind of a mixed bag this year on your renewal increase. I know that was kind of the speedball version, but did you guys have any questions, concerns, anything from an insurance perspective of what we're doing for the township?
Did you say the rate increase was 4% a year?
Yeah, it's typically between 3 and 5. You guys usually fall in that 4% range. Yeah, we're seeing them come down slowly from last year with the inflation going down. So insurance rates are coming back down. We were kind of up with inflation going down. We're kind of mean that. Pretty much where most of our increases are coming from is on the auto physical damage, just because of the cost to repair vehicles. You got the labor that's up now, and the price of parts are up. So unfortunately, our costs are going up. And the vehicles are more specialized than they used to be with their LED lights and all the type of equipment that's attached. But you guys historically are pretty much kind of in that 3 to 4% range. You guys don't fluctuate much. I know that we offered some quotes for the part-time positions earlier in the year, or late last year for the fire department. So you guys have all that stuff from us to get your levy passed, I believe, for your increase. Any questions, guys? Concerns? What ifs? I know I worked with you a lot over the year, Mark, from the school year, so I know you know the process pretty well.
Yeah, we'll be in contact.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if you need anything, just let me know. But if not, is okay, get this issue tomorrow for you guys when I get back from the office. And if you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. And when I get those quotes in, I'll send them over to you, Steve. Then we'll go from there. Yes. It's a pleasure seeing all you again. You guys stay safe and have a fun rest of your meeting.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Have a good night, guys.
That's a GP going around. All dusty. You're gonna do the chief's report? Okay. Chief's report.
All right, so I'll give a chief's finished report here. Tanker 82 is back in service for right now. That had been down in Kentucky for last several months. Still looking at some options for repairing the tank. It still is leaking, but decided to get all the equipment back on it and get it back in service. So I have some more info on it and some upcoming meetings. 921, which is the old Chevy pumper, it is out currently of service for anything should be used at funerals because the engine work and had a burnt valve in it. So looking at some options and costs to get that thing fixed. Brian Stiles is working on getting bids for new rescue saws, circular saws, as well as chainsaws, bent saws. And hoping to have those for the March meeting. We had a levy committee meeting on February 15th. We presented budgets, had lots of discussion until about 9 o'clock at night. I think we went pretty late that night. Also, Chief Bennett had Harvest Design come in, that's Laura Mueller, and help with the design concept for bunk rooms, showers, all those things. So we had that at the meeting as well, and Chief Bennett has those at his office. She did a lot with the space that we have there. And she had a rough guesstimate of pricing. She doesn't do commercial typically, so she wasn't real sure on pricing, but had kind of a ballpark there. So we're gonna stop up and see those plans. He has those there in his office of what she's proposed that we do to make more room there, or use our room better, I should say. He's updated our sam.gov registration. That's how we apply for federal grants, and we keep getting money from the federal grants. We received a resignation from EMT Jenny Books. She had been on department for 10 years. Now that they have 3 kids with a set of twins included in that, she's no longer able to spend the time there. So, Jen, I believe we need a motion for that, correct?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we accept the resignation from EMT Jenny Books from the fire department.
Second.
We also have a 6-month leave of absence currently for Casey Shepard. He has a new job. He's doing a lot of traveling, so he's not able to run currently. So he's on a 6-month. New applications. We had one new application approved by membership, and that is Tom Hunley. He's a township resident here tonight, and he would like to attend fire class as a volunteer. So I need a motion to approve Tom Hunley for membership.
Make a motion, we would approve Tom Hunley for.
1 year probationary, I got it.
Second.
Who seconded that? It was me.
Shelton.
I was gonna say my head was down writing.
We have another application from Scott Pigg. He is currently certified as a firefighter, plans to attend EMT class, wants to make firefighting and paramedicine a career. He lives in Hamilton Township. He started here as a cadet years ago and then went into the military and is back from that. So I need another motion to approve Scott Pigg.
Make a motion to approve Scott Pigg.
Second.
It's always got.
Was there, I guess there was no kind of warranty or anything on the Tanker 82 for the tank?
No, so they looked at it and they were not gonna. They determined it was not. It's materials and something else, and it was not covered under warranty now. And the company no longer builds fire apparatus, so they were not willing to work on it either. So, yeah. So we're looking at other options. There's no great option there. It doesn't look like at this point. Jason Wright has been taking lead with this. He's talked to multiple vendors that do different things. The first one wouldn't give any kind of a warranty. It was $20,000 to line it, but it was as soon as it's on there, it's yours. It might last 10 years, it might last 10 minutes, but we're still charging the $20,000. That was probably not the best option. So they're still looking at some other things. Maybe just try to get it through for when we can. We may have to fix it multiple times, do some cheaper patching on it to get it through, and to try to avoid spending a bunch of money on it that might not work. Right. So,
Anybody else have any questions for the trustee report?
No.
No, sir. Trustee report.
All right, for the maintenance, we're still waiting on the dump truck. Apparently they cannot find this wiring harness. So they're still waiting to get the wiring harness in. It's still sitting at Freightliner. They're not giving us any timetable for delivery at this point for that truck. So we keep following up with that regularly, but no answer. Going to have to do a repair on the boom truck. Not 100% clear. You can blame me. I was in it when it broke. The gear and actuator that runs the boom, they tell me the gear broke off of the actuator, cracked. I haven't looked at it. This is per the same company that came out and did certification on it. So they're estimating a $5,000 repair on this truck. The actuator is $3,600. And then with other associated parts and labor and travel. So I don't know if we want to look into other avenues for that. What we want to do with that.
Might be able to cannibalize one for Mr. Howery.
He does not have, Rick said he would be willing to look at it. And I do not have a broken down. It was kind of they were trying to get this bid from the company pretty quick and didn't really get one.
Okay.
Just kind of got a ballpark. I think we can do it for 5 type, verbal agreements.
What is the brand of the unit itself?
I think it's All Tech. That's what it is.
I'll take.
I believe so.
It is. It's all.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like you want to work on it.
Let's go over to this. We do have a mechanic.
That's what it sounded
I
like.
just stood by it once or twice. I mean,
That's what it sounded like. So yeah, Rick said he could probably try to find some time to get it in down there if we wanted him to do that, or
Yeah,
you can make the decision on get a second opinion.
Yeah, let him look at it.
Okay.
You guys fine with that?
Absolutely. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Larry's working with Jason Fisher on a culvert repair on Fisher Road. Fisher's one that is scheduled for resurfacing. They found a stone and concrete culvert that's kind of collapsing, falling in. All it's going to be jackhammered out, taken out. We're going to estimate 2 weeks, hoping to do it in a week, but with weather, not sure. So they're going to post signs, have it closed for 2 weeks. We were able to do a 36-inch plastic culvert. This is going to be metal. Jason agreed that if they use the stone that's already there, basically it's a creek stone, flat creek rock, and use that for head wall, that they could use plastic. So went from about $2,500 for metal to $900 for 36-inch plastic. It's about 35 feet long. So, and they've already got that pipe. So whenever the weather cooperates next week is the plan to start on that project.
How long you say it's gonna be closed?
They're putting 2 weeks on the signs in case weather or something
Okay.
goes wrong. They may have to bring in Warren County engineers as well if our many can't get some of it moved out of there, or we run into other issues
That's the
with that.
section of Fisher Road between 132 and Edwardsville.
I believe so.
Yes, I believe it's down past that.
I believe so, yeah.
Part of the pay.
Yeah.
Between.
Yeah. Yeah. I passed out, any more questions on that part?
No.
You pass it. I passed out the copy of the county's HIP link policy. HIP link was the text messages that we get, fire, EMS. We're getting most of the elected officials in Warren County. We're getting them up until about a year or so ago. It started being discussed. And Warren County commissioners at their, not this last meeting before, passed a resolution to change the policy, and now it's only fire and EMS and police personnel that can receive that HIP link messaging. So I did give you that, so if you want to read through that, you have it. Talking to Larry and Jeff, some discussion about a seasonal position, help out with some road mowing. What are your thoughts on that? We did, obviously we are contracting out the mowing. Just thoughts on bringing somebody in. The seasonal can work up to 40. Since it's not all through the year, it can be less, it can be flexible.
Did we have somebody last year?
Not last.
Seems like we've had somebody.
Not last year. Not last year. Because we had Jimmy, so we had 3 full-time through half or 7 months of last year. This first year we've been down to 2. Now we're not mowing everything either. But we're also not getting a lot of the road projects done that we could or should be getting done. So just some thoughts or discussions on.
We have anybody interested?
We do. We would try to target somebody who would be cross-trained. Ideally, is what we've tried to do in the past. Find somebody who is cross-trained fire, EMS, or at least fire or EMS, one or the other. So I've had at least one person express some interest in possibly doing it if we were to add that position. I don't know. They have some equipment experience. I don't know how much. I don't know that answer. But if we could find somebody who was kind of cross-trained, you could kind of both ways, could help us out with our daytime shortages right now on the fire side, as well as help out with some with the road. But Larry's idea of it is it's mostly road mowing and boom mowing to try to catch up on some of that. While Larry and Jeff focus on the culvert jobs and those types of things, ditching.
Where did we leave off on wages last time we went down that road?
Jenny, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I think 15.
They'd have to look at the.
Yeah,
minutes, because
I
have
think-
no idea.
You started at 12 and had it on the sign, and there was.
We had to bump it up.
Yeah.
We had
Everybody
to
went
get
up and
anybody.
down.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I want to say we ended up at 15, and he was just mowing. That's when we were still mowing everything, and in that position pretty much mowed. So I don't know if we have to make it variable based upon, ability, experience.
Have the skill sets to be able to run the equipment and work on the other side as well.
Yeah, so I don't.
Even if they just mow, that's a ton of help. Because that frees the other 2 guys up to go work on pipes and whatnot. I think it was in February, so if we're gonna do it, probably need to start advertising.
Better start at the first of this month coming up.
You guys wanna start advertising for part-time?
Season.
Is it part-time
Or
or is it
seasonal.
part-time,
Seasonal.
full-time?
Seasonal.
Because
No.
part-time has something to do with the hours.
Hours.
Seasonal
It does.
full-time till when?
It's not full time. It's just
It's seasonal,
seasonal.
part-time.
And you can set the
Kind of
date,
determine
start and finish. Yeah. You can set it whenever you want it to be. It can be open-ended, but they can't work so many hours a year. See what that is. But it's got to be defined as a seasonal position. And then it does allow them to work 40 hours a week during that seasonal time. So you probably won't want to go past end of September, like April 1st to end of September, 1st September, something like that.
You wanna get all the information together, that way
I was
we
interested.
have everything ready.
Yep.
5 months.
And then we'll do it at the next meeting.
Can do that. We've talked about a website here for a little while, up at OTA. I went to a class as well as talked to them at the trade show. Company is called iPanda Design. They focus on townships. They also do businesses, but they mostly throughout Ohio. So I contacted them the week after OTA, got some pricing from them. They kind of break it up. It's $1,100 to build your website. $800, which you don't have to do with what they define as branding. It's essentially building you a logo, a color scheme, making your website less bland and less of a basic website. Would rely on us if we didn't do the branding part. We have to come up with something to put on, like a banner of the page or something along those lines. But they will assist with that. It's $800, $1,100 to build it. And then there's 2 options. They can, if you don't have somebody that already knows how to do it, they can train somebody for $400 to run it, and then they turn the keys over to us and we run it. They will maintain it for $1,100 a year, and the maintenance means if we have something we want to post, ham and turkey dinner, fish fries, we should email them, say, put something together for, here's our fish fry, here's some pictures, put something together, and they put it up and they manage it. Versus us doing it. They also offer the option to do emails. That would be at whatever domain was created for the township. Those emails are $7 per month per email. That she normally does 4. Trustees, fiscal officer, but they can do whatever we would want to do with those. One thing to consider with the emails, which came up in her presentation as well as a couple others at OTA, was if we are using personal email for township correspondence and you use it for other things and you get a records request, they get everything. You can't separate, you can't just send my emails that are township related. Whoever requested information gets your entire bank of emails. So you can create your own, if you want to create your own Gmail account and you only use it for township stuff, that's fine, but I'm sure you don't mix and match them essentially. So
Are they secure emails?
yeah, she is insured. She was specific with that. She is. She also has with the website. Yeah, with the website, there are some things we have to do as a government agency that you don't have to do as a business, as far as our privacy policies and those types of things. We have to have those posted. Our cookie policy, cookies are how they track you on a website. So when you go visit a website again, you can work through it quicker. Government agencies have to have those public and posted. If they don't, you can actually be sued for not having those on there as a public agency. What you do. So she has all those things. And she is insured on her side, and she is operating and running the website. We own it. Everything is ours. If we decide and we went with her company 2 years, 3 years, we're done. We get it. The keys are ours. It's not, she doesn't keep it. But while she's running it, she's insured that on her.
How do we currently get that information out?
What the
We just use the
general stuff?
Harlan.
So historically we've done a paper newsletter and we were doing 2 a year. They got pretty expensive. Last year we did 1 a year. That's what created some issues with delivery. A lot of residents didn't get it. We can't just do a bulk mailing because there's some areas of the township that fall under different zip codes, and we have to do those individually. And last year, the company we used, that created an issue. I think, an option here would be, and she would assist us with this, you could do a sign up for a newsletter. Where instead of doing, Hamilton Township does this, they don't do a paper mailing. You sign up for their newsletter and then you can blast those things out in electronic form versus using the post office to hopefully deliver your stuff.
So this would replace that mailing.
Good. Yeah.
Cheaper in the long run?
I don't remember what the cost was. It's not cheap.
Several thousand to do a mailing.
Around $3,500 or something.
Yeah, it's 3 or
More than
4.
that. I thought it was
More?
closer to 5.
Yeah, because we had to change. I know Dusty changed paper last year to cheapen it up some. I know we were using a glossier, fancier, heavier weight paper. It was fairly expensive. And in fact, not everybody got it. That was kind of not beneficial either. When you spend $5,000 and not everybody gets it, that's not good.
On the branding, it was $800 for branding. Is that a one-time fee or?
Yes, that's once. That's once. Yeah, whatever your theme, and we're doing the same thing right now with the grant stuff for the fire department.
Mhm.
They assist you with coming up with a theme, a brand identity. So it helps to dress up the website some, whether it's a seal that you put on there versus just doing throwing a seal of Ohio on it or something like that. And then they work through different colors. I mean, it's the artistic part of it, which would not be my forte. even a little,
Come on, Steve.
unless it's John Deere green, we can do that. Does that work?
That works. Second.
Red.
You know, I wasn't gonna care, you know.
Red.
So with, and kind of going with this, we had discussed, for the last several months about the live streaming. Most you probably saw with Mark's post, we are using YouTube, do some discussions at OTA, discussions with this internet company. A lot of places are using either YouTube, Facebook Live. I'm recording the meetings, so we discussed before with YouTube, when you upload anything to YouTube, they own it, right? The content becomes theirs. That's why it's free. They get all kinds of stuff and free advertisement. This is, you're offering it as a courtesy to the residents. You don't have to do it. There's nothing that says in writing that we have to do it. It's not the official record. And I feel like by recording it, we're going to keep it here in the record retention room. We're going to have those. So for some reason, YouTube decides something changes and they pull all our videos down, for whatever reason, or pull a video down. We still have a hard copy of that video if that gets requested. Again, it's not an official record, so we really don't have to, supply that. It's just a courtesy that we're doing. So YouTube analytics, not that we need a lot of analytics, but it gives us a lot better feedback. We have live feedback as we're going here. We currently have 9 viewers. Which we're actually have more than Warren County Commissioners, which is kind of surprising. So I looked at the one yesterday, or whatever commissioners were a few days ago. I looked at theirs halfway through, and they had 5. So a county of however many million people, and they get 5, and a township of 5,000, we get 9. I don't exactly. I guess we're more exciting. I don't know. So the cost to use the private company was around $2,200. And that was just hosting the videos themselves. If we were to go the YouTube route, that doesn't cost us anything. And then the website, the first year is about the same, a little bit more if we do the branding part to build it, set it up. But then after that, you're going to have less money in having the website run completely with the emails, and we would have had just a streaming of the videos. Which seems like a lot more.
You said YouTube owns it, but you're also recording it?
I am recording it locally, yes, on my computer.
Okay, so we would have a hard copy.
Yes. Eventually I'll have to move those over to a external hard drive because I'm going to fill my computer up real quick with videos. So that's got to get moved over to an external hard drive regularly. And then we'll just keep those across the hallway and Wi-Fi and cabinets over there.
Will you have the passwords and stuff for the website?
Yes, they do. Yeah, you have access. You can get in there and tinker with it, and then they can fix it when you mess it up. And yes, yeah, that's the important part. They can fix it.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
On the website, does that allow for document storage, like eventually to
Minutes?
do minutes
Yes.
and budgets and whatnot?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And it then would put a direct link to the YouTube page.
Mhm.
If we went the YouTube route, so you just go to the Harlan Township page. One example she'd given for some of the townships, and they schedule this, so, and I don't know how they track this, but let's say like on Wednesday, for us, Wednesday morning, they have what she calls a widget that pops up on your landing page that says the township meeting is tonight. And then you can just click on that. So you don't have to go searching for something on the website. It's on your landing page. And then that links into whether it's Facebook Live, whether it's YouTube, whatever, it links right to your page on YouTube.
This month we got 10.
Yeah, they must have heard about us. The word's out.
I think we get more, honestly. I think you'll get more viewers. As
Yeah, I
time goes.
really did not because
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Warren County, you think with the entire county that they rarely get more. I mean, if you go back and look at it historically, they rarely get more than, you might see like a 50 or 60 on something that's really big, but they're normally like 10, 15 for the entire county. So.
I'd say the Dollar General situation was probably,
Yes.
I'd say the internet probably went down a couple of months. That one.
Well, what are your thoughts between the Ravner group that we were using to live stream the first few meetings? Between that, because we need a website, and that this is free,
Yeah,
What
I
are,
mean,
what are your thoughts between?
my thoughts are to use the company to set the website up and ends up being, so the first year, you'd have about the same money. You'd have, depends if you wanted to do the branding, it'd be $2,200. If you didn't do the branding, you build it, and then they'll maintain it the first year for the same cost as what the hosting was gonna be for the videos.
But you just pay for the branding once.
It's once and you're done. And after that, let's say you're half the cost, and then you have the option to do the emails. So dollar for dollar, you're getting a lot more
I like
for
the
less
idea of
money.
emails.
Let's say $2,000,
And
I'm
if
not
you-
gonna mailers too, then.
And then if you guys decided you wanted to do the email
Back to that.
separate, one thing they offer too is if you have change in trustees. So if you use your email, if you were to go this route, there's a change in trustees. At midnight when it switches, they lock the old account, they open up the new account, and then they send all that stuff to us from the old email account. So then that goes record retention, and you have all those emails from the previous trustee.
Did they mention anything about email archiving?
How long they keep it?
Well, for example, most people are familiar with email, right? So when you get an email, you can delete it. And then you can even delete it out of your trash, or it'll eventually just disappear.
Goes away.
But archiving, even though you think it's deleted, it's not deleted. It's in an archive, it's in a vault. So in terms of public records, it could, if there's ever a public records request and someone says, well, my inbox is empty, I have no email.
Right.
Well, that's not true. They're in the archive.
I'm going,
That would be something.
I'll have a definite answer for you. I am going to make what you should never assume, I'm going to make the assumption that since she deals with public entities a lot, that she does it that way. And they
Another
are all
feature
archived.
would be litigation hold. In case there ever is a lawsuit of any kind, then the mailboxes and whatever the content is in them at that point gets locked so that they can't be deleted or forwarded or whatever, because now they become part of legal
Right.
discovery.
Right.
So just two features you probably want to look into.
They only think they're deleted.
They go out there, you come back to the minutes.
Yeah, if it's not in the minutes, that's.
The legalities all go back to the minutes.
Whatever's in the minutes is
So
called
that's
what.
great.
Right.
This is the law.
Right, but emails and stuff, that is.
Yeah, the emails you
Public
send,
record.
the emails are still public record. So, and that's where you want to use caution if you're mixed matching your private, your emails and if there's a record, say, I want, trustee X's emails that he does public for the last 3 years. You've got to dump everything. You don't just send emails that are because you can't prove which ones are which. You have to send them everything that you have.
Right, right, you can't just say, look at the minutes, right? There's a lot of township records and things that happen outside of those minutes, and that's what I'm referring to.
Yep.
But I think what he was asking as far as what gets said at the meetings, it's the minutes. That's what you were
Yes.
asking.
I like the idea of secure emails. And we need a website, and I like live stream, so if that's your recommendation, I'm good with it.
Do you want to do the whole thing?
What about you
Oh,
guys?
yeah. Frank's good too.
You're gonna be doing the most work. What do you think?
I'm not a web designer. So, to me, for after the first year, half the cost of what the hosting was going to be, yeah, I think it's well worth the money to have somebody that can fix it. She also, they're have an emphasis on having, duplicity, so you'll make sure that it's not just one person has control over it, right? So again, if I get hit by a truck or she's hit by a truck, we have things that are built in there so that all that stuff continues. So, I mean, I like having it maintained. Not to be lazy, but I have a lot of things that I do every day. I think for somebody here to, whether we try to hire somebody here, maintain a website and keep up on it, I think it's a lot easier to say, hey, we've got this fundraiser, we've got this or that, put this up there. That seems way easier to me. We want to update this for $1,100 a year. I think that is money well spent.
You just
And
sent
that's
an
my
email.
opinion. I send an email to her, call, whatever it is, and say, yeah, this, we want changes, we want to do this, we want to add this. You know, as we move forward and things change, they'll do that for us.
Just curious, is this the same organization that's doing the one for the fire department? Or
It is not.
Totally different?
It is different, yes.
Okay.
This is some, you went to the conference and met this group.
It is, yeah. They had a booth out at the trade show, at the OTA conference, and then she also teaches a class at the OTA conference, about security, websites, media for townships, and all those types of things.
Well, you just brought up a good point. Would this also encompass the fire department or all
So
the
the-
departments?
So, yeah, so the fire department is doing a separate website through our grant. So that's website's almost up and running. That's getting the final approvals for that. So
You could link them.
we would link it essentially. We would have to get a domain. They have to create a domain for us. We probably do a .us domain as what is most likely if we were to go this route. And then we would just have departments somewhere on the side, on the top, like a typical, and then you go to fire department, and then that would link directly to the fire department's page. Yeah.
You give a thumbs up.
Motion, and then it is.
And motion in a second.
All right, how do we word that? Is it
Just
Just make a motion and I'll make the wording.
There you go.
Make a motion.
Have a second?
Second. Didn't even know the name of it. Is it
iPanda Design.
iPanda?
Don't ask me why
Or
Panda
is it
Design.
Ravner?
Yeah, Ravner's the one we're not.
Yeah, so we will not be using Ravner then for the live stream. We'll be using YouTube.
So you'll notify Ravner that we're not
I
gonna.
will.
Just to
Yes.
double check, you're doing the branding and building and then the year maintenance and
Yes.
email.
How many emails do you want? That's the next question.
Do you want one, Jenny? A secure
Yes.
one? So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably you also as the administrator.
We can switch however you, I think on that one.
I would.
Right now I'm using a TDS. I think Dusty wants to move by. I wish he was here. I think he wants to go away from TDS, I believe.
I would
Yeah,
say
why would
Dusty
you,
probably need to get
Why
one.
would you do all employees,
Yes.
not just including the fire,
Is that,
anybody that's on?
At least, because not all the fire,
yeah, 'cause we,
I mean, because like when my husband was on, he really didn't have an email address.
Well, I'm not saying every firefighter, but Dusty, the
Well, he
chief,
was
and
a-
others.
He was a captain. and he
yeah, so
didn't
with
have a
Unified, our computer company, they have emails set up already for certain people. So I'll get with Dusty and see
Can they
how we want
request
to do
it? Can somebody, if they ask for it, they can be
Get
added
that.
on?
I don't
Or
have
do you
that
to
answer.
Start out with that.
I need to find that answer first. So we'll say 4 or 5. That's not gonna change a whole lot. So we'll just figure that out later. Or it could be more. We'll see what Dusty wants to do with that. We'll get more data with that. So. Okay. Last thing I have then is Edwardsville's been a very popular place. It's a cemetery. We had it since last report. We had another burial on the 14th, and we have another one this Friday on the 21st. So we're already like 60% of last year's total. Less than 2 months in.
Are there any lots left?
Yeah, Richard's gonna be here to do a report, I think in March, isn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna be
He
here.
kind of sent us a preliminary look at it. Yeah, there's still lots. We haven't even surveyed the back of that yet,
We have a survey coming.
which I've got to get with Richard at some point. We talked about this last fall, so. We'll look at that and look at how to get around, get a driveway in there and stuff.
Yeah.
And a bridge or something, because you got those two,
Yeah.
and they're always wet.
Yeah.
So that's gonna take a little work. We're gonna need some grant money on that.
That's all I got.
Anybody have any more questions for Steve?
I've got my little vote.
Thanks, Steve.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Let's go to, old business. Ed?
I stuck my head in the firehouse to check out, I guess it's that way, our accommodations for somebody to stay overnight, shower, etc. I know we're already working on that. It looks to me like we have plenty of space to work with, and I'm looking forward to seeing the preliminary drawings that we have And I'd like to follow that all the way through.
Did you say those are available up there for,
Yeah, Dusty has them up there.
does he have that in an email form? That he could just send to the trustees so we can look at it? I mean, I saw it at the levy committee. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think I still have, so I could, I don't want to do too many things at once. Currently, with my one computer. But yeah, I do have it, I think still via email. I'm sure he has it too, that he sent it to me, so. Yeah, but he has the larger drawings too. And then she also had then a 3D rendering where you can move through it, walk through it as well.
I got a lot of drawings, I'm not gonna.
It was a really good utilization of space, though.
Yep, she does really, yeah, she does, I mean, she's just working residential where you're taking a small kitchen and trying to, so having that much space, she was like, this is a lot of space to work with, which to me, it didn't look like it was a lot of space. But when she reworked it, it really, yeah.
There's a lot of space.
Yeah, when she came in and said that there's a kitchen, I'm like, you got a kitchenette here? Like, I didn't think we were gonna get, a bunk room, let alone a kitchenette, but she got it worked in there, so. She did a good job.
I was, Laura Mueller.
Yeah.
Also finished up all my Township Association seminar. That was pretty neat. I think it went over a little bit of township law, zoning, roads, road maintenance. It was very informative. That's all I have for old business.
I don't have any old, sir.
Sure.
Yeah. Promise.
Oh, I got a bunch of old, but I can't remember what it all is. One of them is Tanya still here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The invitation on March 18th to the 9 Lincoln meeting for all the trustees. Already been some talk about all the trustees attending the meeting, violating sunshine laws and whatnot. It kind of puts us in a position.
Well, Jenny said you could attend, you just couldn't
You don't make
vote on
decisions.
anything, you just don't make decisions, you'll just bring back what we present to
Okay, I just don't
this
want it,
meeting.
I just don't want it to,
No,
trustees get in there and say, this is what we're doing, and we all
No.
look at you and say, oh, it looks great,
no, no, we're just gonna present our thoughts,
Okay,
and then you can bring them back to this meeting, and then just let us know.
I mean, it's fine that we all attend,
Right,
it just kind of puts us in that,
no, I understand,
okay.
right?
Me there?
Huh?
You want me there?
That's your call, if you wanna be there, you're more than welcome to come. If you need to be there to keep them in line, you can come right over.
Smack our hands.
I'd go, Jenny.
I was gonna say, I'll let you do that, you can do it just as well with me.
And then, one other thing I saw on, the Easter advertisement, it doesn't say Harlan Township on it.
Doesn't?
It says presented by 9 Lincoln Auxiliary of Harlan Township or something like that. You guys can make sure Harlan Township is recognized for their event.
Okay, I will have her, okay. And put it back out there.
Is there a list of what is a township event versus what is 9 Lincoln's events?
What do you mean?
Like, I know 9 Lincoln helps with the events, but what is an actual township event versus what is an actual 9 Lincoln event?
Well, they're all township event. I mean, well, we've added since Peggy was in there, but what, I'm not sure what you're,
I just didn't know if there was like a list of what, because I know like the fish fry, that's obviously a
that's fire department.
fire department 9 Lincoln
Yeah.
event.
I mean, it's still Harlan Township Fire Department,
Yes. Yes. I just didn't know what
Well,
was
we've
what.
we got the fish, we got the fish fry, we got Easter. Yeah, you're talking about what 9 Lincoln does, like what Peggy did for the township?
I don't know what they need.
Because fire department pretty much handles all the dinners.
Right.
Well, we've got Easter, we added the tractor show, the cruise in, the Jeep meet, and then of course we have the trunk or treat. And.
We're just considering all them, 9 Lincoln and the township together. I think that's
Well,
what she
it's a township, but 9 Lincoln presents it, just like Peggy used to present it, you know, they handle it for the township.
Right.
I mean, is that what you're asking?
Yes, that's fine.
New business.
I have a
Oh, Jenny?
Last meeting, we discussed the reimbursement for Bright Acres for cleaning. And I look back at my notes, and in June of last year, we mentioned that there would be $50 for cleaning and $25 for cleaning supplies paid.
Well, not necessarily cleaning supplies, but the toilet paper, the paper
Well, yeah.
towels, the soap, like.
Supplies,
the
yeah.
supplies.
I shouldn't have said.
I don't think we ever did settle though on the 25, on the.
We did. I have it in my notes too.
It was in the
I voted
notes,
on-
but you never said it in the meetings to make it official. Because it was discussed and then on the minutes, it said that it would be discussed and decided later. And it was never put in the minutes.
So we're gonna pay $25 for toilet paper and paper towels every event?
Listen, if you see the way these people are leaving this gym, you're
Oh,
lucky
I
I'm not
know.
going after more.
I've seen,
Just saying.
I've seen a lady trying to jump the fruit punch bowl in the water
Yeah.
fountain and then dropped it and busted it all over the floor and the
Yeah.
wall.
I mean, there's not been one event that we've not had to come in and
So we need to
scrub.
change that to 75 reimbursement.
That was what was discussed. And then it was said, we'll make it more concrete, and then it was never made concrete. So I still owe Bright Acres money, but I let Bridget know that we've got to get this settled on how much before I go writing a check to Bright Acres. So basically, yes, it needs to be to $75.
Okay.
I mean,
You guys in agreement on that?
That's what we discussed almost a year ago.
But it was never discussed again. So I need to change the rental agreement again?
Well, the rental agreement, I am looking at it and I don't see anything that says anything about cleaning on here.
No.
So I don't know if
because we
that's
haven't
just
done a
something
one
underneath
check.
that you've got.
Right, we haven't done a one check. And then
So
we reimburse them on the events.
Part of it.
You wasn't part of this. You were at the meeting, I guarantee.
Technically,
I
Ed, you
remember.
came up with most of the idea
I
as
remember it
this
all.
side of the table.
So I'm looking, I mean, you've got the rental rate for events is $125 for a minimum of 2 hours, $25 per hour after that.
Right.
So if that's the case, does $75 come out of that to go to Bright Acres?
We're gonna have to change our rate then to 150 because that'd be 75. Because they do all the cleaning and the mopping and the.
Originally, it was set up to, you had a rate and then like a deposit. I thought, this is what I thought I heard from out in the deep seats. That there was a deposit, and then if you got, then we didn't want to write 2 checks.
Right.
We talked about saying, here's a deposit check and here's a rental check. And so I think Bridget kind of volunteered to say, well, we're there and we don't trust anybody to do the cleaning, we're gonna do it anyway.
Listen,
I believe that.
now you.
I second that.
We don't trust anybody.
sorry,
I second that.
So
It's coming back.
More and pay us to do the cleaning, and then we're happy.
No, because I think what was said is if we were only gonna charge $25 to cleaning, even if we left stuff out, nobody's gonna clean it because they'll just pay the $25 for the cleaning.
Yes.
So you didn't have to do it anyway.
Yes.
So you
That's
said,
what
I'd
we
rather
said.
do it
It's gonna happen
myself.
anyways.
Then
Say I'd rather do it
give somebody
myself.
their money back. That's what I got out of that.
I mean, I don't care to try leaving things out for people to be cleaning, but the messes they're leaving, cleaning means it needs to be, no offense, Bright Acres' expectation of cleaning.
But they're also using other supplies of yours that
Correct.
resident.
Coffee.
Technically.
Well,
yeah.
Marcus did bring us a whole box of coffee,
He
K
did?
cups. He did.
Okay.
He did.
All right, that's what
But that's trash
My pocket.
cans.
That wasn't township.
Oh, well,
I
regardless.
buy stuff all the time.
Bright Acres got a box.
I just don't want anybody getting in the same picture.
Yeah, I don't care to attempt to leave things out, but like I said, I think it definitely needs to be it's a Bright Acres clean, not a.
It seems to be most of the time people's concept of it is, well, I paid to do this, I can come in, do what I need to do and leave.
Right.
Well, I paid, I think that's the mentality.
Probably need to upgrade up that a little bit.
I mean, they're just short. Guys, I
We're gonna
can't
make their rate 75.
Hey, make
We're
it
gonna
look
change our rate to 150.
know everybody how bad this is every time.
Right.
They don't
Right.
respect.
So
what
you're
you're
saying
They
you're
don't.
going to
It's
do
bad.
the overall
I know
rental
it's
rate
bad.
for $150 and 75 of that goes to Bright Acres.
Yes. And the rest of it stays the same. Anything over the 2-hour minimum, 25 an hour.
Richard has to buy her own coffee though.
I don't drink the coffee.
Is there anything in there for a deposit for damages or to make sure they
There's
clean
something
it?
on there, on the agreement, they have to sign an agreement there. What is on the
Leases
bottom
will
of that?
pay the cost as determined, repairing any damage which has been done on the premises.
And they sign it and date it.
These should be up to that.
So you're changing the rental agreement to 150 to where I will be paying in Bright Acres 75 of that, correct?
On events, yes.
Why we're talking about rentals. Just a suggestion, just a suggestion. I think whoever is renting needs to have a final walkthrough checklist. Because they're also leaving things in toilets, so when we come in, it reeks. After the one sports team, there was dog poop found. There was no sign of a dog, I will say that. But there was dog poop found in the hallway. They're using our blue chairs and then not moving them back. Trash, we picked up trash in the hallways. And there's a trash can in the hallway, so I don't understand that concept, but maybe just a suggestion that they need to do like a final walkthrough and make sure the toilets and urinals are flushed and things look like they did when they walked in.
Well, we're paying you a cleaning fee for.
Just to flush toilets? After grown? No,
Yeah.
no,
Yes, ma'am.
no.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, would you,
Flushing and
since you
cleaning.
guys kind of know what's going on, would you mind kind of writing that checklist and then
Oh, yeah,
give it to us?
yes.
And then
Nobody's gonna rent now.
we'll make edits.
Listen, I just feel like this is a community building and it really does upset me that the community comes in and doesn't take care of a building that is utilized for this. Like, it really hurts my heart to come in and see the way some of these people.
The disrespect that
things.
people have.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
like
very
it's just very heartbreaking.
I got accused it was my dog that left it in there.
Do you ever check the firehouse after people leave it? Yeah.
I don't, but when I rented the firehouse, I cleaned it before I left.
Yeah,
Because I was taught to leave things better than when
Better
it's
than
found.
you
Yes.
found them, right?
Unfortunately, we're not in that day and age anymore, and my 3.5-year-olds take care of things better than what some of these other people do coming in.
There's a firehouse.
It just hurts my heart.
Yes, checklist.
Yeah, it's just sad.
And they still leave it?
It is, yeah, it's not always, so some groups do fine, other times it's not put back. Yeah, there's a checklist, we have clipboards for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And there's a laminated check sheet, you just do this, make sure that the heat's turned down, you've mopped, you've swept, you've done, take the trash out, all those things. Dusty has all those on a sheet. The check, now whether, it doesn't always get done.
I know you go in there
Just
and
flush the toilet.
the floor is sticky after an event sometimes, so I know they're not mopping.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's all I have for.
thanks, Jenny.
Hey.
Thanks, Jenny.
I'm just closing something that was opened.
Doing a great job.
Let's see, where were we?
You're
That
on
was
new.
old. All right, Ed, new business?
No new business.
Yes, I do. I actually spoke with Jeff Jones from Warren County Engineers about basically what they do. They tar and chip, they wait a week, they come back and seal it. It's called recta seal, $1.10 a square yard. Steve, did you have something or not? Was that on here?
Yeah, so, but OTA, they call, well, it's called different things. It's called micro
things.
seal, Cape seal.
Something for next year's road budget to look into, maybe try to save some of our
I
roads.
actually talked to Wayne Township's road director today. They micro seal all of their subdivision. He does not do it on roads because it's a little bit slicker. But on those slower speed subdivisions, all of Wayne Township subdivisions are micro sealed, Cape seal, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so it's basically a chip seal, seal it with eights, let it sit 2 weeks, come back in and then micro seal it. It's black again. Doesn't look quite like pavement, but it's dark.
Well, that is what
Like
they
this
did
out
out here, right?
Yeah, it's similar. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's got some grip to it.
Yeah, this almost looked like a fog seal. They just came back and put bar back on top of it again, to make it look like. I'm not sure this was a micro seal. It could have been. I don't remember exactly what they did with it. But it's total. It's about half the cost of asphalt.
There's a less, I think 30% more longevity to the life
Yeah.
of your asphalt.
Yeah.
They did mention tarring though made a huge,
Sealing.
and the two are supposedly
Yeah.
work hand in hand.
Yeah, that's all. Like $7.
What was a chip seal compared to that? Did you look into
It
that?
was, how much a mile? I had it wrote down somewhere.
I don't remember. But you're still chip sealing, so you still have the chip seal cost, then you're adding that on top of
But this is supposed to add
quite
a
a
whole
bit.
lot of time to it. So
Right.
maybe we can get ahead of the game on some of our roads. The chip seal was, oh, shoot. It's 17,000 miles. Leave.
The one advantage you have of using a micro seal is that is the complaint factor. As you go into, I think on this year we plan to do Morgan's Run. So you do a subdivision, house are close together, and you chip seal it. It sometimes gets a little uglier at first, but it goes from a paved road to an uglier road. And so when you come back in and you say, okay, well, we're coming back in a couple weeks, we're gonna make it look better, then you micro seal it, it looks close to pavement. So people like the appearance of it. It does add longevity. It adds the second layer of sealant, and it does add some longevity to the road as a whole.
Cuts out the rock chip line.
Yeah, it kind of binds everything together. It's additional binder essentially on top. Yeah.
And when do you have to have all that information in to them to say that's what you want to do, or is that for like next year?
And it is today, actually.
But I mean, is there a deadline?
I'll
No,
pay for it
is there a
today.
deadline? I just need to
Yes.
know.
They have to have it by, when was it, the end of
On
March?
roads.
On the roads?
Yeah, and then you can move your mileage around some after you get the bids, because we'll submit more roads what we can do, and then when the bids come in, 'cause we don't know what it's going to cost really.
Are you asking for Butlerville?
Yes, I am, for 132, the straight,
Do you guys get anything from ODOT or the county?
I'm sure we do. But I just need to know so I can pass that information on, so I make sure that it gets taken care of this time.
The deadline is sometime in March, isn't it? Kevin, do you know?
I'm pretty sure it's by the end of March is what they're gonna, like I said, I was just there today and handed in what we wanted done. Markey Road, you need a name and phone number. Can I get to you tomorrow? I'm not sure
Yes.
where I got it.
And then you just tell me too what I need to tell them we want.
Yeah, but there's a guy over there that specifically handles it.
If you don't mind, please. Thank you.
And that would be all, sir.
I seen your guys' new truck at Freightliner, just so you know. Before
So
you
everybody
guys-
says, is that your truck out there?
I got to see it before you guys did.
They might plant the flowers up by then.
It's pretty nice.
It is.
And warranty up on it?
Yeah, it's getting close. Had some dust on it.
All right. Do you have anything else, Kevin?
No, sir.
Have anything else or not? Steve, do you have any?
I don't do a question in the back.
He's ignoring
Oh.
me. He's ignoring
I'm
me. He's totally ignoring. I just have a question. Why does Bowdenville have to pay 132 when it's a state.
They have to pay for from
What?
sign to sign.
Okay, I just was curious.
In the
The limit, I was just curious because I'm, well, that's a state highway. It
So
ain't that.
it's-
Okay, thank you.
That's why the last time it happened, we didn't.
Gotcha. Just curious.
It's like if you're on 28 coming into Blanchester,
Oh,
28's
God.
nice, and then you get into Blanchester, and then you get out.
That's because they pick
It's
up
'cause
their
the
plow
village
as they come through town,
Yeah.
because they ain't gonna tear their stuff up, and they go out of town, they put their plow back down.
I just, it was like, that just made no sense.
I,
You
yeah, I
guys
don't
have to
understand
put
either, but
put
it's
some
because
money
it's the
into it.
village limits, yeah.
All those loopholes. Okay, that was a simple question.
Jenny, do you have any new?
I do. We have the request from the Warren County Drug Task Force. They're asking for the same contribution that we paid last year, which is $49.29.
I'll make that motion that we give them the same amount, $49.29.
Second.
The check wrote for the next meeting. Thank you.
Jimmy, can I also request receipts for rent, please?
As far as, you mean like a
Like
copy
last
of
year, you
what-
sent me the whole year at once, but just however you want to do it.
I'll have to refresh my memory on what I sent you, so.
Oh,
But yes.
yeah, it's in the email somewhere.
Okay, we'll figure it out, but yes,
Okay, thank you.
I'll write that. You want 2023 receipts?
No, 2024,
Oh, you mean for
like
your
moving forward.
lease?
Yeah, Yeah.
Now I
That-
got ya.
that thing.
Okay, I got you now. I was thinking you meant the rental
Nope,
receipts. I'm
No,
going,
sorry,
okay, I don't remember doing that,
no,
but.
for the
okay.
lease.
2024 lease, okay, I
Thank
got it.
you.
Yep.
Community comments. Bridget, you've had enough.
Yeah.
Give somebody else a turn.
Can I, just real quick, from the way that you were talking on the trucks and everything,
You're pointing at me or you're pointing at him?
Is that really?
Yeah, right.
She got a crooked finger.
I know,
no,
can't tell.
that's at home, I don't have a computer, he does that at home. Am I assuming that 4 trucks that we have are either out of service, need work? Is that,
As far as fire apparatus,
yeah,
so we would, just right now, so the tanker's back in service now. It's
but
gonna
it
be,
still has problems.
it still has problems. Yeah.
Is that tank stainless or steel?
It's stainless. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Bust up.
Have you sourced this out locally?
Keep it
To
together.
what?
Have you sourced it out locally? Like the Phoenix?
He has made some calls, yes. We contacted Phoenix on one of the other trucks years ago.
Problem is they don't want to stand behind it because they know it's gonna bust up.
Yeah, I don't know the answer we got. So I didn't get it, so when they brought it back, Jason got in it to try to find where, and Dusty looked in it with some of the pictures, and there's all kinds of like crustaceans growing everywhere in that thing from all the, yeah. So, they think it's leaking back by where the rear dumps are welded in, and it's really hard to get to. So it is baffled, it's got holes in the baffles, but they're not sure with the way it drops down into the dumps, you can even see exactly where it's leaking.
Because they talked about cutting the back off and repairing it, putting it back on, but then nobody wants to stand behind cutting that apart and what's inside there once you tear it apart.
And the next problem I have with it is that it was the skirting. And I see why they don't build fire apparatus anymore. I think it had big waves in it, and then they bondoed the side with like Bondo, and it started to crack, and it's been sitting outside for a year, and it's been freezing, and now it's all cracked apart. So the whole skirting is all coming apart.
Oh, it's been
All the
sitting down
Bondo,
there.
it's been outside, so yes, it's been getting water in the cracks, and of course, water freezes, it expands and cracks all the Bondo outside the truck. So now it's got big sections coming off the side where they bonded it. So I have no idea how straight the actual skirting is. It must be very straight because there's some pretty darn thick Bondo in it, I think, to make it straight.
So can I assume that those trucks are in that, condition because of the age?
That one, not so much. So that's the newest one. It's a product of the water. When we built this last one, they said that twice a year you need to drain them. And this is for all of our stainless tanks, and we had never done it with the other ones. So I mean, maybe it could be material quality as well that they claim it's not. You're supposed to drain them, get inside and soap every surface, like hand scrub, crawl through it, soap it, rinse it, let it completely dry, and that kills the microbes that grow the stuff that comes off the tank. And we've not done it with any of our tanks. Actually, if you have, it's a confined space entry, so we can do it with permit entry, but we got to write our own permits and have confined space personnel do it, which we have, but we had no issues with the other tankers that were much older, so we didn't drain this one. And that's what they're blaming. Is of course it's going through at the weld, so that's where the must be the weakest is right next to where it's welded. Metal gets hot, it weakens it. That's where it's getting, the microbes eating on it and going through it. So two of the three currently leak. Yes. The oldest tanker, which is a 95, Jeff can tell you better. He dumped some water out of it to keep it a little bit lower. So it's supposed to carry 4,000. We're carrying maybe 3,500 in an effort to not have it leak as much. He can have more details on that for you if he was here. But yeah, so two of the three of those leak.
So Harlan Township is cursed when it comes to vehicles, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it can always be worse. I'm not going to complain. It can always be worse. So with that particular vehicle, yes, we spent a lot of money on that vehicle now. Between dropping the valve, put a new, rebuilding the engine. Yeah, you've got quite a bit of money in that truck now, for sure.
Are the bathrooms gonna be open for the Easter egg hunt?
We had a discussion today, actually, he's just walked back in again. So we had a discussion. I believe you are going to open them back up, yes. And that's, I probably should have brought that up, but
March 23rd.
we can just read it. They'll be okay. So I think the plan is, I talked with Jeff and Larry today, was that we would go ahead and get them back open. And then if we had a cold spell again, we would just put heaters in there of some sort. Because it is kind of a process to winterize them. They got to do the toilets, they got to put the antifreeze in and everything. So I think that's
Maybe as late as possible. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, so I didn't have that in the minutes, but because last year they were still locked up when we had the Easter egg hunt, and that was kind of an issue. So if we go ahead and open those, get the water back in them, and if it does get cold again, we'll just throw some heaters in there and try to keep them warm that way. If we have a cold snap there in April, that way there's restrooms that people can use when they're there for the Easter egg hunt. Right. There's lots of kids and lots of people there, and not be able to go to the restroom for a couple hours would be a problem.
When is that, Tanya? Easter egg hunt?
23rd.
March
March.
23rd? Okay.
Another question, can the tanks be lined? Just asking for a friend.
The stainless tanks, yeah, so yeah, we checked it, yeah, that was at the company in Louisville that Jason talked to first. You might add this, Dusty, if I get this wrong, but they would not warranty the liner in the tank. So yeah, they sprayed in there for $19,000, tanker 82.
Oh, okay.
Right, 19,000, 18,000. They spray it in there, but it was a 5 mile warranty. So.
A lot of money to spend and it crack again. You looking for your list? Yeah. I guess we won't be tonight then. Any other community comments?
I do. I want to thank the road crew for being out Friday afternoon, way before that storm hit. Just Trader Roads.
You're welcome.
I bet you guys into.
Only
No,
me.
Larry was right behind
Only
you.
me here.
Well, Larry was here. It was
Larry
right
might be
behind you.
watching.
You guys were, I was coming home and I saw you guys at the corner of 123 and 132. Get out of his way. Where's the tree?
I think a lot of people forget the time and energy that goes into that. The
Yep.
people that do that, the late hours,
Yes.
that people forget.
17 and a half.
And trucks are beat up.
Is there anything else to be brought before the board this evening? Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Make a motion to pay the bills.
correspondence?
Nope.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.
Adjourn. Mr. Hunley, thank you. Appreciate you showing up and talking to me. I went down.